And then you just slowly stop when you feel comfortable. And then to unclip, since you haven't used this, you kick your heel outside. Make sure your hands are stable so you don't fall. There we go. There you go. There you go. And I usually just put one foot down at a time. Rather keep a hand on here, so we can do that.
All right, so I'm all warmed up now. That was a great cardio ride.
Yeah.
But as a doctor, you know we need strength and flexibility. So
Yes.
what do you have for me for strength and flexibility?
So it has yoga that they added, which I love, and it's got some stretching and plyometric type classes, and then they have classes on the bike if you go longer that use the 3-pound weights.
So
Which I'm less of a fan of that.
three-pound weights.
Yeah, so it's mostly above the shoulder, and it does get exceedingly tiring, but not my favorite thing to do.
All right, I'm talking serious strength and flexibility, full body. I think I've got something we could use.
Okay.
Why don't you come with me and I'll get your chest coming between the hands and slow push up, almost fully extending, but don't lock the elbows out. Okay?
Roger.
Let's get maybe 10, 12. Nice. Beautiful. Hey, it's Joey Atlas here, back with another basic training session on the Sculpt2Fit home gym system. What we're doing today is a basic abs and core session. We've got 5 exercises for you. I'm going to take you through those 5. If you see that those 5 are easy by the time you get finished, think about going through again. Just play the video over, go through it a second time, do the moves you can, do the number of reps that you can, but don't force yourself to do what you can. If I do 8 and you can only do 4, that is awesome. So just think logically, common sense. Eventually you'll build up to what I'm doing, then you'll be able to go through this definitely 2 and 3 times eventually, and then you can advance to the intermediate and the advanced training sessions that we'll be mapping out for you or that are already in the system. So here we go. We're going to get right into it. I've got my setup with the asymmetrical variance bars about mid-waist high. I've got 2 light or medium bands hooked up from somewhere up at the top, the first or second rung, and I've got my Sculpt2Mat hybrid bench mat here ready to go for one of the exercises. So that's your setup to start your first exercise. You're setting up with your hands on the curve of the bars, firm grip. You are on your toes here with your feet back a little bit, and you're just bringing your knee up to the center of your body line right here. Breathing out as you pull, and then you pause, and then you bring it up again. So we're going to do 8 on the right side, and then we're switching for 8 on the left. So as always, or not always, but today I've got Nikki on the camera. Nikki is the quarterback of the Sculpt2Fit community and the Sculpt2Fit system. She keeps the show running behind the scenes, especially here in the studio. When you get up here, you're going to pause. Nikki is going to give me a cue to let me know when I get to 8 repetitions. Pause up here as you breathe out. We're engaging everything in the front here, in the abs, the core, into the hip flexors, into the thigh. Everything works together. While we're in this position, our core is working to keep our body stabilized as well. So there's several things going on at the same time. We're going to do one more here, and that is 8. Now we're switching. We're coming up with the left foot toward the center of our body, in front here, between our hands. We're aiming for the middle, and then back down slowly, touching. Breathing out as we come up. Now, as a beginner, if you find that you can't get as far as I can, that's totally okay. So let's say, for example, you have some weight to lose in the midsection, and you can't get your leg up high. That's okay. Go as far as you can, or you can even bring it out to the side so that you have more range of motion there. As you get more fit and you get in shape, your stomach will decrease. You'll have more range of motion. You'll be able to bring that knee up through the middle, pause, and then bringing it down. All right, that is 8. We're going to our next move. We're doing the band crunch. The band standing crunch. So we're starting off with light bands. You're going to take those bands just to where they start to get a little tight. We don't want to have any slack in them. So we're coming back, we're in an athletic stance, our knees are bent, our hands are in front of us like this with our palms up, and all we're doing is breathing out as we crunch down. We crunch our elbows toward our thighs, toward the insides of the thighs, and then up. Now this feels pretty easy, and that's okay. The whole thing here is to get the range of motion, get your muscles used to what we're asking it to do, and have the neurological pathways start turning on to let your body know that it's time to get in shape. Now, if it's too easy, you can step back. You can build up that resistance, but the range of motion is still the same. Breathing out as you crunch down. Elbows come toward the thighs, and we come up slowly. We're not coming up all the way. We're not releasing fully. We're keeping tension here, keeping our body in an athletic position. Knees are bent. We pause at the bottom. Pause at the bottom. Breathe in, coming up. And we're going to give you one more for good measure. Nikki's behind the camera giving me my 8 counts. So I might be on or off by just one because I want to make sure I get an extra for you. All right, so our bands are done. The band crunch is done for now. We're going to bring down the Sculptamat. We're going to lower it. I have it on the first rung, but we're taking that off the first rung, lifting up and just sliding it forward because we're going for the basic beginner variations of these exercises. So you're gently going to sit down. Now, if you're a super beginner, super basic, and you have trouble getting down like that, take your time getting down. Use your whole body and take your time. Come down on one knee, hands go here, then you sit down, and you get yourself into position. There's no need to rush. What you're going to do here is lay all the way back slowly. You're going to take a grip either on the sides, where the bench is open. We have a 10-degree bend. So you're going to grip the bottom of the bench mat, or you can grip back here. If you want to scoop back, you can grip the top pad edge, or right here, wherever you're more comfortable and wherever you feel better range of motion in your shoulders. We're doing the modified reverse core curl. So we're starting here with the knees up, feet off the ground, and this is modified because the advanced one looks something like this. We're modifying it for the basic beginner so that we're only coming in a little bit. Again, if your stomach is in the way because you're just getting started or you're carrying a little bit extra here, let your knees point outward so that you can pull a little bit. So all we're trying to do here is engage the midsection muscles. That's it. We're just trying to get them activated and give them the signal that it's time to start getting in shape. It's time to start taking care of our fitness, and we're building the foundation with these basic exercises that are allowing us to do this properly without getting hurt and without trying to rush things. This is like priming the pump. We prime the pump for what's coming later as we advance and we make progress. So we're breathing out as we pull, holding, feeling those muscles kick in. And we're going to do one more for 8. Whew. Those feel good. I'm feeling the muscles work, but they are not killing me, which means they're going to be perfect for you. Now, I'm going to get up, but I'm going to show you how I'd like you to get up. My feet are down. You're going to turn onto your side like this, and you're going to push yourself up. When you're more advanced and you're in shape and you're where you want to be, you could do this kind of stuff. But you don't have to do that. Just turn to your side, play it safe, push yourself up, and then you're going to scoot down all the way to the edge so that you're sitting right near the edge. You're going to lay back again, and your hands can be right at the side. They could be here gripping the edge of the mat, or they could be here if you want to. We're doing the flat-footed bridge, and again, this is all for midsection, core, hips and thighs, everything working together to make this happen. So from here, your feet are just a few inches apart, knees a few inches apart, and you're pushing up as high as you can comfortably get to lift your glutes, your low back, your hips off the mat. Pause, and then back down, touching very lightly on the mat. Breathing out on the way up, as high as you can comfortably get. Feel everything back here doing its job, and then down slowly. Now, depending on your body mechanics, you may feel a little better by pointing your toes out. Some people will feel better if their toes are pointed straight ahead, but there's no one right way to do these in terms of foot positioning. You can put your feet wherever you're more comfortable, but the range of motion is what we're aiming for. Slow, controlled tempo, pausing at the top, feeling everything work back here that you want working, and then controlling on the way down. You breathe out as you go up. Breathe in, coming down, and we've got one more to go that makes 8. Pause at the top. Excellent. Okay, so I'm feeling those, so I know you're going to feel them too, but that's a good thing. We just don't want them wiping you out. So just think about feeling the exercise, but not feeling like it's going to kill you or that you're struggling too hard. It should feel relatively easy, but it should feel like you're doing something that your body needs and wants. So from here, we're going to get up. We're going to take our hybrid bench mat off to the side. And we got our last exercise to go. So we're actually going to take off our AV handles. If you're new to the system, new to the community, all you do is lift them up. I'm sure you already know that though. Slide them off to the side. Now we're going back to our light bands. You should be using light. These are actually medium. I got one medium, one heavy, I think, but you're going to go with light bands, so don't let the colors confuse you. You're going to set up with your feet toward the edge of the base, right against it, and we've got minimal slack, if any, in the bands, and this is where we're starting from. We're coming down, we're reaching toward our opposite knee, and then back up. Down the other way, toward the opposite knee in front of it, and then back up. Down slowly, turning, reaching in front of the opposite knee, and then back up. Again, this is basic. This is geared toward beginners, so this is going to feel relatively easy most likely, which is okay. I'd rather you go easy and then build up gradually to where you can step out, and eventually you'll be getting down lower as you reach toward the ground, and really feeling the challenge as your body progresses. But for now, we're just building the foundation, and this is where I want you to come. If this session turns out to be too easy, again, you can go through it a second time, and eventually a third time, and then we can go to the more progressive movements and sequences of exercises that will get you closer and closer to your goals. All right, we've got one more to go here. Pause when you get down there in front of the knee. I feel my whole core working properly, but it doesn't feel like I'm killing myself, so I know that's going to feel good to you. That is it. That's basic abs and core number 1. We'll have some others before you advance to intermediate and advanced sessions. If that was easy, go through it a second time. Eventually you'll go through it 3 times. You'll be able to pull in the progressions that I showed you. We'll have those mapped out for you. If you have any questions at all, since you're here watching this session in the private Sculpt to Fit Club website, you know where the link is to come talk with us in the community and talk with your peers. If you have any questions, hit that link. You know where to go. You know where to find us. We're there to help, to take you along on your journey. Thanks again for watching. Be ready for the next one.